IITA TV. It's an honor to be here. My name is Yusuni, and I'm hosting this event with.
My name is Dr. Friends told me this. Thank you for coming out. Yes, everyone. The 5 years for really long. I'm happy today. Another real meeting of the IITA TV. Yes, all of the information of this activity of the starting to do this. The end of it. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Manshi. So, next on our agenda will be that we rise to our feet, please, for the national anthem. I hope that everyone of us will be the national anthem at this point, because I'll be looking at our mouse. If you don't. Thank you very much. Round of applause for Nigeria.
Stop it now.
I don't think for you to be with people. Thank you very much.
Yeah, documentary.
Okay. First, I would like to recognize the DGs. The meeting will be touched on. CGIR as well. Next, I'd like to recognize the DDG Corporate Services. Thank you very much for joining us. Then, I would like to also recognize the head of PNC.
hard-to-reach locations. Thanks also to colleagues and friends of Radio IITA who have contributed to its program implementation and even financial upkeep in the last few years. We cannot thank you enough for your support and care. This support is what helps keep the project afloat. We appreciate the hard work of staff, including volunteers in the early years of implementation, which has made it possible to launch IITA TV at this stage of the initiative. We are now implementing phase 2 of the plan, which is the development of IITA TV being launched today. We hope to continue to use this mass medium and strategic communication channel to reach more of our beneficiary farmers and farming communities, educate them, and share our innovations, ultimately impacting the lives of farmer beneficiaries and their families. We are proud of the work that we are doing in Radio IITA and IITA TV and urge everyone to continue to support us. Your support will certainly make sure that this broadcasting initiative reaches more farmers and farm communities, the lives of farmers, not just in Nigeria, but in other African countries covered by IITA, and meet its mission of disseminating agricultural knowledge for farmers. With that short context, I am happy to declare this celebration open. Thank you once again for celebrating important milestone moment like this with the Institute. We look forward to more years of serving our farming communities in Africa. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Kathy.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ma. A round of applause for Ms. Mendoza, please. Okay, so while she was giving her opening remarks, the DG walked in and also Dr. Debo. Can you please welcome both of them? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining us. We appreciate your presence. 5 years, remarkable number of years. There's been the highs, the lows, and the in-betweens, but we are here and we're moving to the second phase. And we want to appreciate everybody that has supported IITA Communication Office in the last couple of years. We really do recognize your support. We would like for us to see a trailer, a video on the screen that will tell us about the journey so far that has now transcended into the second phase. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the trailer.
In over 5 decades of IITA's existence and extensive research, one major gap has been the dissemination of research output and information. And in lieu of bridging the already existing gap, the broadcasting arm of the communication unit of the Institute was developed, yearning for other mediums to herald the mission, vision, and constant landmarks of IITA through its endless journey of research activities. Radio IITA was birthed in August of 2019. Today, we celebrate 5 years of connecting communities, empowering farmers, and promoting sustainable agriculture.
Radio IITA was a project that was started in 2019. At that time, we were looking for a more effective platform and medium that we can use to reach, farmers, the last mile. Although we have a lot of innovations in IITA and the CGIAR system, not all of these innovations reach the farmers. So we wanted to get a platform that is accessible, low cost, effective in terms of reaching large numbers of users at any one time. And that's also available, at any time.
Before the launching, we had already started broadcasting online, I would say test running. And shortly after that, we launched the radio, that's the online facility, and we continued broadcasting. And we used several places around the campus as our makeshift studios. I remember the first place was the technical room at the conference center, somewhere up there. And we moved to Musa Room, close to PDAU, and went back to the conference center again, and we moved to communication office. I think that was the last place we used as a makeshift studio until we got a studio.
With radio generally being a primary and frequent source of information to rural and agricultural communities, which are the targeted audience in this case. The goal for Radio IITA was simply structured to inform, promote awareness, and empower farming communities in sub-Saharan Africa with the knowledge they need to thrive. Starting out as an internet radio with over 6,000 listenership, the radio team saw the need for more attention to the target audience in its community and worked towards being a community radio.
The idea behind Radio IITA was actually to help disseminate information of IITA technology research output or research outcome. And IITA has invested lots of money in publicity and communication, and they just thought, why don't we have our own radio station, to do the same thing rather than go we still do that anyway. We have partners, media partners, but we can have our own radio station, have our trained broadcasters or journalists within who would help do the same thing that they were going outside to get. So that was the idea behind.
The plan was to make use of Radio IITA to reach our farmers, because IITA works in over more than 20 countries in Africa. So we wanted a medium that we can use, to beam knowledge or push out information to all these countries. So we settled on using an internet radio facility. Initially, we were looking at producing programs here in IITA and then, translating them and probably sharing them through the internet. So we also established, for example, social media platforms to support the internet radio. Then 2 years later, we applied for a community license, so we can really physically establish a station, that we can use again to reach local farmers, of course.
In the last 5 years, Radio IITA has progressed immensely as a community radio and has developed initiatives to further propagate its cause. This, however, has not been without some challenges in terms of funding, equipment, and more permanent infrastructure. Still, with the existing challenges, Radio IITA has continued to thrive and create awareness.
Radio has started, and the days of the beginning, I think to some extent we wobbled to start, but I made sure we just have to start something. We just have to start from somewhere. Fine, we have committee trying to do something, but let's start something. And that was why I advised my boss, look, let's get some of these things. To start radio is something that we can quickly do. And by then we can put resources together, and we don't have to wait until this thing is approved. So, and yeah, she was very supportive and said, yeah, that's good. And we got some equipment and went to Lagos with some guys from FMS, supply chain rather. So we went to Lagos, we got a mixer, got some microphones, did whatever. And we were doing it little by little. And eventually, I think we moved the new equipment somewhere here in our building.
The journey, nonetheless, has continued to produce a yearning to increase IITA's brand visibility, increase listenership, and influence across the nation. This quest has in turn paved way for a new development, a visual arm of the broadcast unit, IITA TV.
In the light of the advancements in technology and communication, it is now more important for us to embrace the online channel to disseminate agricultural content to our audience. How do we do this? When we consider the audience, we will know the best way to disseminate the information we want them to embrace. We're targeting youth, we're targeting researchers, we're targeting farmers, we're targeting everyone. And how do you get them? You get them through the channels they use the most, and that is the YouTube channel.
IITA TV is an online-based television that leverages on modern technology to project visually research findings, innovations, and programs of IITA.
The IITA TV platform is well organized, making it easy for users to find content sequentially as they would want to view the content. So we have the videos also in short for people who would like to, access content that are not so long. So the platform is really interesting, and overall, the platform has been arranged to make people have good user experience.
The platform is tailored to bring research outputs closer to end users in the immediate community and around the globe, like the mother broadcast unit. Radio IITA, a more timeless and seamless archive of information.
This is the part we get to clap. Thank you for watching. 5 years and a second phase. Next on our agenda, I would like to call on the radio lead to give some remarks. Daji Odok, a round of applause for her, please.
Good morning, everyone. I'll be standing on all existing protocols. My name is Daji Odok, and I'd like to show us our journey so far. We've seen it in the trailer, but I also want to speak a little bit about how far we've come as a radio station from our humble beginnings in 2019. Our journey since 2019, after the launch, hasn't been smooth. And like I said, we started from up there, that's sound room, and then here at some point, and we were evicted. So we moved to the, like you see in the picture, sorry, next slide, sir. Like you see in the photo. Yes, that was the room there. Then the other one was the audition. We looked at what we had internally because there was no funding at the time. And luckily for us, we had talent within IITA. So we advertised, or we announced for audition for persons who have the passion to do radio and radio broadcasting. And we got quite a few persons. And shortly after that, we did a few weeks training, about 2 to 3 weeks training. And we got volunteers. We started with volunteers. It wasn't easy, but look at where we are today. We are very grateful. And our first achievement after the launch, shortly after the launch, barely 1 year, was an award, a media award by the OFAB as the best science reporting station, or best science reporter of the year. That was in Nigeria. And in 2021, we also won for the Continental Africa as the best science reporter. And we'll move on. We're looking at how to expand our reach. We're a community radio station, so that means we're limited. So we thought of engaging partners who run commercial radio stations who have a wider audience. And we're looking at getting partners from the whole regions. I mean, the Southwest, East, Northern region, South, and the rest. And we got some partners, some radio stations from Anambra State, Enugu State, FRCN, West zonal stations, that's Radio Nigeria. And we got, and these stations are leading stations in their regions, the best radio stations in their regions in terms of listenership. So we signed a partnership with them. We also got organizations, Wild Africa Fund, as partners, and ATR, that's Africa Tech Radio. And after that, I think a few weeks later, we held a competition for school children. We tagged it with Science We Can. We celebrated Children's Day here in this hall. We brought children together to talk to them about science, agriculture, and also encourage them to diversify. Because everybody, I mean, growing up, we wanted to be lawyers, doctors, and the rest. Nobody wanted to be a farmer or go into agriculture. So this helped us widen their options, let them know that there is also a business aspect to agriculture, not just the work alone. And we achieved that with competition. We engaged them in quizzes, competition, climate change subjects, and debate. And after that, we thought of carrying out a survey, a community survey, to actually get to know our audience, find out exactly what they want to listen to on radio and when. We had a 3 days intensive survey outreach where we spoke with our immediate audience around the community here in Akinyele local government. And we got some data from the farmers, from the audience, and it also helped us prepare content that are tailored to their interests. We also visited some cooperative farmers groups where we spoke with them and invited them also to come to IITA to meet with our scientists and talk with them about the challenges they have in their various crops. And of course, it's restricted to the crops, the mandate crops of IITA. So here is our farmers outreach. What we do here is it's an initiative where we bring farmers of various crops, mandate crops of IITA, and we train them according to the seasons. So we speak with the scientists or the units, the program, let's say cassava, the last one we had was soybean. We speak with the program heads and tell them that we're bringing farmers of that crop so they can talk with them and hear from them the kind of challenges they are facing and then get expert advice from them. And we've done that. The only crop remaining right now is planting. That will be done, planting and cowpea. Cowpea will be next week, and then planting, and then we'll know we've come to the end of the season until next year. And also to encourage them, we thought about a Farmer of the Year award for all the crops we've done, but we're giving them a period of 1 year to see how far they've come in the training and the outputs, I mean, the outcome of their planting. So we'll be holding the first Farmer of the Year award for yam and maize, because that's the only crop since we did the training that we can harvest this year. So sometime this year, we'll be holding that award, and we're awarding each crop. We are getting Farmer of the Year for each crop, just to encourage them to put into practice. And these people are representatives from their communities and cooperative organizations. So we train them to go back and train the rest. Now we want to look at our impact and our coverage area. Initially, we started as an internet facility where we didn't have, I mean, there was no terrestrial audience except you had an internet. So this is our top 5 regions that we're covering: Nigeria, DRC, Uganda, just 3 out of the 5 that we're covering. And then the other one shows where they listen from. So from this data, or from this, we also found out that our farmers use mobile devices mostly than laptops or desktop or all of that. So we ensure that we make our content very brief on radio, since it's a device, because once a call comes in, it knocks off. So whatever it is, we have a strategy. Whatever it is we need to say, we start with it first, from the most important information to the least. So in case a call comes into the farmer's radio device and knocks off. Of course, some calls take 5 minutes, 1 hour. The person probably will not remember he or she was listening to a radio program. So this helped us take that decision. And then we discovered that our peak period for a normal regular radio station, my colleague here will attest to that. The peak periods are usually the mornings and the evenings. But we discovered that for us, Radio IITA, as an agric radio, our peak period is afternoon. And why is that? We discovered that during the survey outreach, because that's the time the farmers are in the field. So usually when they are in the field, they turn on their radio and they are listening. So that's why we have that peak time. It was strange for me too, because I come from a regular broadcast background. So when I saw peak time being afternoon, it was shocking. But after the survey, we found out why that was. And this is our analytics from our platform too. From our platform, gender and age, and the locations. And then assessing farmers' knowledge. These farmers that we bring for the radio outreach, what we do a pre-test and a post-test. We just test to see the level of their knowledge before and after the training. And it's been something amazing. And I mean, like this first one is the maize training. The level of knowledge was 86%, as you can see. But after the training, we had 100% for the same questions asked before and after. And it goes for the rest of the crop, cassava and the rest. And the total, when we did the analytics, we found out that for all the crops we have done so far, we found out that we had a very huge success. According to this, yes. So we had 16, the level of their knowledge was 16, but right now as we speak, so far, we have 83%. That means they know more than they used to know. And these are testimonials from, like I say, voices, I call it voices of change from the farmers. Some of the farmers we have trained in Radio IITA. I also want to use this opportunity to thank all our donors, our supporters, those who have contributed to Radio IITA, the success that we are celebrating today. I want to say a very big thank you to you all. We love you. Asama.
Thank you, Daje. A round of applause for her again. So we've seen the statistics, we've seen the numbers, we've seen the pictures and the videos, and 5 years has gone by with so much impact. We would like to call on the DJ now to give his keynote remarks, Dr. Simeon Ewi. So while he's coming here, we'd like to recognize the presence of Dr. Mazia Dixon. And then
Mr. Kayode Awubajo is also here with us.
So is Zainatu. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Timmy and dear colleagues. Good morning. Let me seize the opportunity here to welcome the Honorable Commissioner for Information of Oyo State and my dear colleagues from the SMT and all the IITA staff. This is a unique moment, the inauguration of the IITA TV, building on the IITA radio inaugurated some 5 years ago, 2019, I understand. This is really good. So it's a major milestone. I think that it is quite important because the IITA TV will be another instrument that we can use to be able to disseminate and share information and connecting with our stakeholders. This is quite important. Many of you know how much importance I'm putting on communication. I really care about it, and I think that this particular milestone is in the right direction, and we need to do more of this. I want to tell you that it's not yet official, but because of the importance that I give to communication,
I'm changing the reporting line, and the communication head will report to the office of the DG. It is important because communication with poor communication, you know what can happen? But with good communication, you can achieve really a lot. I keep saying, what's the point of being proud of all these technologies that we develop, but then they are all, hidden here in publications and in the different cupboards, and nobody knows about them. No, the whole world needs to know what IITA is doing. And IITA is strategically located in Africa, the biggest center in terms of staffing of the CGIAR, but also in terms of resources. IITA is the largest in Africa. And we are located not only in Ibadan, but we also cover the entire Africa with 5 hubs and some 20 stations. So we need to be able to use this opportunity to position IITA even higher. And that's why I really care a lot about the IITA TV. So I want to congratulate you, each one of you who has been involved in the development of this IITA TV. It's really a major milestone, and we need to be able to clap and applaud for ourselves. Okay. Now, I know it's not easy. We are not the only one in the game. So we need to be able to really partner. IITA needs to partner with other communication, if you want, tools or instruments or bodies in the country and also outside the country. So we need to be able to reach out, and we need to use this instrument we have to make sure that the visibility of IITA is there. IITA needs to be visible. We need to see IITA, globally. When I travel on the behalf of IITA, I'm carrying this flag and of IITA, and it's important for people to say, hey, I know what you guys are doing. It's fantastic. And I've seen it. People coming to me and say, you guys, you're doing great stuff, and so on, like that. I don't want to go to a mission or somebody say, oh, I'm the DJ of IITA. They say, well, what is IITA, by the way? Sometimes it takes me back and say, what do you mean, what's IITA? They need to know about it. And it is thanks to the, instrument that you are developing, like the IITA radio, the IITA TV, that we can actually do that. So I want to take this opportunity really seriously to encourage everyone to make sure that we engage with our broader audiences, the farmers, the researchers, the policymakers, and the general public. We need to reach out to all of them. And remember one thing, it's like being on a treadmill. You must continue to walk on the treadmill, because otherwise you are going to fall, because what's happening is that the people change in the management leadership of countries. People change every 3 years, 5 years, people change. So we need to continuously update our stakeholders about what IITA is. So I count on you, okay, to ensure that the IITA communication team is well positioned to be able to communicate and share, information about what we're doing. So I'm very proud of this inauguration, and I really want to encourage you. You have the full support of the Director General. You have the full support of the SMT, and I'm sure you have the full support of all the staff of IITA for the good work that you are doing. So thank you, and congratulations again for the good work you are doing.
A round of applause for the Director General of IITA, Dr. Simeon Erui. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. A lot has been said. A round of applause again, please. Yes, a lot has been said, and we want to thank our DG for throwing his weight of support for the communication unit. We're grateful, sir, and for the leadership role you're playing for IITA. Many takeaways from his remarks.
Yeah.
I take the partnership part. Yes, of course, the communication unit relies on partnership. IITA in general we rely on partnership
And all the
to do
support
many
we
of
can
the
get.
things that we do here, talking about agri information and dissemination. Yes, thank you again, Director General, for your remarks.
Okay, so next we would like to call on our very, very important guest, the Honorable Commissioner for Information. A round of applause for him, please. He's going to be giving his remarks.
Yes, Prince Dotun Uyelade for his remarks. Thank you, sir.
The, excuse me, the Director General IITA, the top echelon of the management of the all-important agency, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stand on the existing protocol. It gives me great pleasure to be here today on this momentous occasion of the 5th anniversary of IITA Radio and the commissioning of the television arm. Naturally, I feel very much at home because for the past 47 years, my professional life has orbited around broadcasting. The power of broadcasting is so enormous that in Nigeria today, according to the National Broadcasting Commission, there are 740 radio and TV stations, out of which 500 of them are radio stations. This will lend credence to the fact that the radio is an all-pervasive means of dissemination of information, not only in Nigeria and Africa, but indeed all over the world. The power and the potency of the social media notwithstanding. Now, out of these 744 broadcast stations and about 500 radio stations in Nigeria, you have 61 of them, according to NBC, here, residing in Oyo State. And the preponderance of these 61 emerged only in the past 4.5 years. In other words, by 2019, you had only 21 radio stations here. When IITA started its radio station 5 years ago, some of us felt it was long overdue. And to date, we still feel that more should be done to improve interactions between the farmers, the consumers, and researchers, which you represent. However, with the commissioning of the television station today, there appears to be an alignment between IITA and those of us who consider ourselves experts in broadcasting. Since the establishment of IITA in Nigeria in 1967, there has never been a time when collaboration between the institute and the state government has been more frequent than now. To be fair, various successive administrations had interactions and very fruitful as we move on. But indeed, there are certain peculiarities in what is going on today between IITA and the Oyo State government. As I speak, we are in partnership with IITA at the Youth Agribusiness Incubation Park Center at Awe in Oyo State here. Yes, the center is a training ground for young entrepreneurs in rural communities. Yes. But probably the best favor IITA has done this administration is the release of its specialist in agribusiness, Dr. Debo Akande, as Director General of the Oyo State Agribusiness Development Agency, IITA. In the past 2 years particularly, the administration's aggressive approach to agribusiness is gradually making Oyo State the investment destination of many national and international investors. Our modest estimate, as I speak, is that the operations at Fashola Industrial Hub, for instance, will provide about 1,500 direct and indirect new jobs and support 7,000 smallholder farmers in the state. The current cumulative investment of the private sector in that hub is over 10 billion naira. This is expected to grow to 20 billion in the next 12 months, everything being equal. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, USA last week to address an Oyo State community who are interested in investing in the state. And the feedback has been very encouraging because they are convinced that we are moving in the right direction. In terms of dissemination of agrarian news throughout the state, the Ministry of Information looks forward to even more effective collaboration with the IITA broadcast team so that we can have a more fruitful symbiotic relationship. I thank you for this opportunity.
Please, a round of applause for the Honorable Commissioner again. Thank you very much, sir.
Round of applause. Yes, is Prince Dotun Oyelade, Honorable Commissioner for Information, Oyo State. We now call on the DDG Corporate Services here at IITA, Hilde Cooper, for a short remarks. Round of applause, please. Thank you.
Thank you. So yes, I think IIT Radio has come very far. I didn't realize until I saw this invite that 5 years ago, I remember we sat somewhere there and in the middle was the podium with DG Sanginga and others. I really didn't realize it was already 5 years. And what I see, you have indeed come from far, from having a small office to a real studio. And also, you know, I do remember some of the challenges with the equipment, with the licenses and so on. You went through a struggle and I really congratulate everybody that went through that to really get to this point where even IITA TV is starting now, which is a great achievement. We really need to, as the DG said, continue, you know, this equipment, technology, how people use radio and TV is not standing still. It keeps changing. As we already heard, farmers have the listen to the radio on their mobile phones, on small radios. It will keep changing, and we need to keep changing with it. I really saw, when I was looking at the screen, the lot of support you got from individuals and units in IITA, which is really great. But I think we need more support as well, because we need, especially with starting TV, more support is needed. The continuation of everything is also really dependent on the inputs on the topics that you are going to get. So, you know, not only have Radio IITA people worked hard and other communication people that help them, but we shouldn't forget also the people in the scientists that have helped with all the content. And we get there. We heard saying the agribusiness, you know, our business incubation platform can really play a big role in this as well. Our training people, everybody in IITA has to support this so that, as just was said by the government here, that we have impact and that visibility, as the DG was saying, we need all that. So thank you everyone for getting us so far, and let's keep going so that we can get even further with this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My round of applause for her again. We're moving on to the exciting part of the event, the part where we'll get to see the fireworks and the smoke, and then the cutting of the... So please, when you see fire on this stage, relax. No cause for alarm. It's just us celebrating. Okay, so they're trying to put the mic and everything on the DG. He's the star of the moment. So he has to look the part. So is the ribbon and the scissors ready? Who is in charge of fireworks? I'm waiting for that part. That's the part I'm waiting for. All right, then. So we'll invite the DG to the stage.
Okay.
And then members of the SMT can join him as well. And our special guests, Dr. Mazia Dixon, Bajo.
He left.
So you come up here, sir,
Yeah.
for the official unveiling of IITA TV.
Please, a round of applause as they proceed for the unveiling. Let's.
Yes, sir, please. So you can join in, please. Sweeters. It's fine here. You're saying it.
Have the mic. Have the mic.
Okay.
So it's a real pleasure for me to unveil the IITA TV on 8 August 2024. Wishing all of you the best, and let's use this one as an excellent instrument to disseminate information about IITA, its research, about what it's doing, about its activities, for the whole world to be aware of what we're doing. So, what do I do? You want me to cut here? Wow. Do like this?
Yes.
Wow.
Round of applause, please. It's a new beginning for IITA TV. And we're excited to be here today.
Okay.
Yeah. Take more.
Fantastic. Is she?
Thank you very
Wow.
much, sir.
Everything's here.
Yes.
Let me read it a bit. Yeah. Farmcast, optimizing crop yield, sprout updates, ag innovation, smart farming, vox pop, nutrition, green talk, hello IITA. Wow. Very good. Very good.
All right, so
Okay.
he just mentioned LOITA, which is the breakfast show. And for the maiden edition of LOITA, we'll be having a very special guest.
Yeah.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the interview session while you're watching it
Oh,
on the screen.
Yes, as we proceed, it is worthy to note that
Oh.
IITA TV will provide for
Okay, give my phone.
latest
I want
information
to bring my phone.
and agronomical practices. It's the start of a new thing here at IITA.
I sit
We're
here.
happy that everyone is here today
Okay.
as well. So let's take
What about
a second to see the maiden edition of LOIITA.
What about-
Yes, a breakfast show, magazine show, all in one.
I love the setting of the studio.
Yes, I do.
It's like rich people's living room.
Sorry? What do I do like this? Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yes, please don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. Yes. You can find IITA TV on YouTube.
Yeah.
And also on
Yes.
Instagram.
Also on Instagram and X.
Yeah.
Yes.
Twitter.
So please follow, like, share.
Okay, this is done. You can put it on.
I hope the background is good, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Can hear you myself. Hello viewers, my name is Tolulope Olabode, and you're welcome to LOIITA. It's a breakfast show where we talk about the happenings in IITA community. And today on the show, I have a co-host, Folake Odutu.
Good morning, LOITA.
And then we have a very important guest on the show. And may I remind you that this is the maiden edition of the program. And we have the very, very important guest. He is the IITA DG, Director General. And he is also, in fact, I should let you introduce yourself, sir, because this is the breakfast show and it's, it's freestyle kind of program. So would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Oh, thank you very much. So my name is Simeon Ewi, and I'm the DG of IITA. In fact, just last week, I clocked 1 year as DG of IITA. It was about this time last year that I joined, and it has been quite an exciting moment. It's an exciting year. So we are all together, and I really want to thank everyone for the support.
You're welcome, sir, and I say congratulations again. Yes. I would like to tell you that this program is a very exciting one, in such a way that you can, relax, make joke, and say your mind.
Okay.
You're not on hot seat, sir. Thank you. So I have some questions for you, basically.
Sure.
The first one is, you said this is your first year, and I would like to say congratulations again. So reflecting on this 1 year and then your rows, you have two caps that you're wearing, or should I say two crowns? What would you consider as your greatest achievements or achievements?
First of all, let me take this opportunity to thank all the staff of IITA for the work that they have been doing. And I came in about a year ago to find an institution that's in good shape. And thanks to the work that you're all doing. So when I joined, the idea was to really try to see how we can take IITA to the next mile. And especially identifying what we call innovative source of financing for IITA. And this has been quite a bit of my focus to try to diversify the source of funding of IITA and to ensure that everybody continues to do his or her job without interruption. So development of partnerships, to position IITA has been really the major landmarks of my year. And we have achieved quite a bit in already 12 months. Just in June, we inaugurated on this campus, at the IITA campus, the what they call the IITA, the fertilizer and soil health hub for West Africa and the Sahel. And this is a major achievement that we need to be able to be proud of, because it did not just happen overnight. It's the culmination of a lot of work, combination of partnership, for example, with the World Bank, with the University M6P in Morocco, with the OCP, with African Plant Nutrition Institute, with IFDC, with ECOWAS, that with whom we collaborated to have that center established here, which will serve as an instrument for soil mapping, for policy, guidance, and for training and so on. And I mean, this is a major achievement. We did that within less than 1 year. The other one that I want to mention that we are quite proud of is the inauguration of our Southern Africa Administrational Research Hub. Okay, it's known as SARA, which is, and we did that one in April, and I think it's a major achievement because we went there with our IIT ambassador, extraordinary ambassador Obasanjo, and we had the President of the Republic of Zambia coming and attending the full event and granting IITA the full diplomatic immunity privileges in order to operate. This is really something big, and we need to be proud of. Of course, there are other achievements that we have had. Like I was saying, we are diversifying source of income. I mean, collaborating with the World Bank, we have a number of initiatives in the making that will bring new resources at IITA and developing strong programs. I'm quite proud that we're financially solid, financially solid in the sense that the next few years we should be able to really scale up sufficiently our financial base so that staff can continue to do their work. All this was happening in the context of CGIAR reforms, some of the challenges we face because, the CGIAR has been reforming. We have a new leadership, a new EMD, and then the CGIAR Global Leadership Team is working. You asked me about my second hat as a regional director for CGIAR for Africa. My role also has been to bring together all the CGIAR centers in Africa so that we can have a common agenda. So we position CGIAR with the major stakeholders like the African Development Bank. We are getting strong support from the African Development Bank. We visited the President Messina in January together, all the DGs, In the African Union, the same thing. And we are now, really full and parcel, for example, of the CADEP process, which is the Comprehensive African Agricultural Development program. And we are positioned there as CGIAR to contribute to the agenda. I think this is a major accomplishment. IITA and CGIAR flag, is quite high. And so I can't cite everything, but I want to say that you should feel proud of the fact that IITA, the CGIAR, is doing very well. It should be proud of being part of this institution.
Thank you. Thank you very much. These are great achievements, and say congratulations once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. I say a huge congratulations to you again. Your achievements are great. Work. Can you tell us the fun place you've been in Nigeria, your best food, the exciting things about the work that you have had this last 1 year?
Can you repeat, because there's some echo?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I congratulate you again for the first year that you spent as DG IITA and also Center Regional Director. So I just want to know, besides work, it's been work for cited lots of achievements in the workspace. How about the fun places you've been in Nigeria, the best food, the languages you speak, and also that you speak local languages. So can you just tell us those outside of work fun experiences you had last week?
No, thank you. Thank you for this question. I should be doing a bit more fun. But I remain really focused this first year to try to ensure that I steer IITA in the direction that I think we can all feel comfortable about. I always see IITA, it's like a big ship. Imagine yourself on a ship, on the ocean, and I am the captain of the ship, and we're on the ocean. So I come on the ship, the other captain left, give me the steering wheel. My job is to make sure that the ship, rides through the wave properly without any problem, and that everyone on the ship, whether they are passengers or workers, feel comfortable. And that was why I focused on that one. So there was not enough time to do a lot of fun thing at this moment, but I look forward to having a fun thing, I look forward to some ideas. I know that on this the campus is vibrant with a lot of social activities. I participated, in some sports first event, which is fine. And myself, I'm a golfer, so thanks to the golf course on the IITA here, I'm able over weekends to be able to do it when I'm here and I'm not traveling. Okay, and be able to also, I celebrated, by the way, my family came here at the end of December, and we celebrated the 2024 New Year in Lagos. And so if you talk about fun, I went to a celebration and we danced very, very well in Lagos. It was quite, and my family, my children, this for the first time, in Lagos, and they really, really loved it, and it was fantastic. Yes, so yeah.
How about
Oh, the food. Look, of course, I mean, first of all, you need to remember one thing. This is the third time that I live in Nigeria. Okay, so I'm quite familiar with a lot of the food, and I came to Nigeria first in 1988. Some of you may not have been born, as a young postdoc here, and already knew a bit about Nigeria. And then I came the second time in Abuja under my previous job as a World Bank staff, being based in Abuja, and the third time here. So I've had the opportunity to sample the Nigerian food. I even travel. I have traveled almost all over Nigeria. You may not know about this. Oh yes, I did travel east, west, north, Borno, Kano, Kaduna, Kogi State, Madugu, Benue State, or all these things. I've been there. Okay, I even drove all the way from here or to River State. So don't think that I don't know Nigeria. I know Nigeria. So in terms of the food, specifically, the food that I quite like very much here is the famous pounded yam with egusi. You know, everybody, this is really something. Yeah, of course, yeah. But I know the Amara is the quite the one that's unique here. But the diversity of food in Nigeria is really something that we need to be proud of. Okay, and the famous jollof rice of Nigeria. You know that there's a competition always between Nigeria and Ghana. And even in Washington, when I was in Washington in the World Bank, there's some competition. Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Gambia, and on jollof rice. So it's always a tough competition. Some years one country wins, another years another country wins. So anyway, yeah, I look forward to tasting more other foods. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. This is wonderful to know you as science work and to pick your interest as science work. And probably we have the chief science from those states. Very soon.
Yeah.
Also,
I want to tell you that I am a chief in Ogun State.
great.
Yeah.
May I ask what your title is, sir?
No, I have to find out that. I have to go back and get it because that was many years ago, 2000. But yes, well, yeah. But I went through the process. We went down several times. Yeah.
All right, on this note, we'll quickly go for a short break, and then when we come back, I'm going to ask you my second question.
Okay, thank you.
We've looked at how we are shaping the conversation of investment in agriculture, access to finance and market for young people, and addressing the root causes of lack of engagement of youth in agriculture. And in that, we are engaging government in making policy, enabling the environment, developing the industry infrastructure that is required to get the youth involvement. And so we need not to look at youth as wrong decision makers. Youth are not making wrong decisions. They just don't have the platform. In IITA here, we're employing almost 130 youth within the agricultural sector who are changing the communication, the way in which we publicize agriculture. Now, what will shock you is most of these young people developed these businesses from the transport money we offered to them during the training and capacity development processes they went through.
Welcome back, and it is still your breakfast show. Hello, IITA. Yes, I still remain your host, Tolulokwe Olabode. I still have with me Folake Odutu and our host. Well, you are a co-host today too, sir.
Thank you.
But at the same time, you are still our guest.
Of course.
When we recruit you, you will be addressed as the host. And I have my second question, sir. You've highlighted the few, out of so many achievements that you have. So my question is, what are your long-term goals for IITA, and what strategies do you have in place, or do you want to put in place to achieve them? You said something and I held on to it. You said financially we are grounded. So I want to know your plans, and especially looking at staff, how to make them happy. What are your plans for this?
Yeah. So, look, I want to mention that this year we got the IITA strategic framework approved last May by the board, and they've given us green light to fully develop that one into a full-fledged strategy, which goes from 2024 to 2030. And the strategy framework sets, if you want, the direction that IITA is going. And it's not an easy process. It's a process that involved several stakeholders, including the staff, the leadership, the stakeholders, and also the program advisory committee. Let me mention that because in the wake of the change of the CGI system and the composition of the board, we had lost the existence of the program advisory committee, but we reinstated that one. And the program advisory committee is quite an important one because it tells us if we are on the right direction and what are the changes or direction we need to go. And they gave us the green light, provide comments on the strategy framework. And the strategy that has been approved sets the vision about a transformed food system, a vision where farmers will have increased the yield, a vision where farmers will have increased their income, a vision where farmers will adopt practices that are resilient to climate change and so on. And in this vision, the question is, what does IITA do? IITA's mission is to provide the solutions, through research, dissemination, okay, so that this IITA mission can help the vision to be achieved, okay? Now, so having set the framework, basically, the long-term goal is to ensure that we're able to help our farmers community to increase yield, to increase their income, that the women and the youth are really targeted and receive the support needed, are vibrant, especially the youth in agribusiness. I think this is an important area as the farming community becomes, and the farmers become older. You want to ensure that the youth are coming in and adopting modernized practices that can really transform agriculture, because you can't do that without an improved, farming practice through the youth, and also be able to disseminate a lot of these, technologies. Be if you want an actor that policymaker can count on. Okay, when you get called by policymakers to say, hey, can you come and help us? For example, we received an invitation by the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone asking us to come and discuss, with him about how we can support the country in order to be able to, help transform the food system. This is the kind of thing that I think, we need to be able to be in to ensure that we are relevant. Okay, so this is quite important. I mentioned financing. Without financing, nothing can happen. Okay, and if you want to achieve result, you want to make sure that your financial base is really solid. And this is why a lot of us are focusing on that. And we don't want the finance to be the business of everybody. People need to do their job. You need to do your work and not to worry about it. But we need to be, we in the position to be able to do that. We need to make sure that the IITA is well resourced. I mentioned earlier, we are the largest CGIS center in the world in terms of people. 2,500 people, globally speaking. Compare that one to CIMIT, which is another C that is, there are like 1,300 people. ICRIS at about 1,100 people. So imagine we need to cater and care about 2,500 people. Maybe half of them are in Ibadan. So it's a huge, ship that we have, which we need to, that we are responsible for. So having solid financial system and well-managed financial system will help us going forward. If we mismanage our resources, I won't be here, you won't be here, and IIT will have been dead long time ago. So I want to give credit to my predecessor for being very financially prudent and not, spend resources recklessly, but also be able to ensure that we are there. So this is why I want to express my appreciation to all of you for the work that you're doing. Having said that, I know that there are some serious issues in Nigeria today, not just Nigeria, actually, Nigeria, Ghana, and Malawi, Zambia. Those countries are facing serious problems because of the rapid depreciation. I say rapid because it's not, the depreciation itself is not a problem, but it's the speed at which it's happening as a problem. Okay, it's too fast and it's creating a problem, and we are conscious of that. And every day, when management meets and discuss, it is on our agenda about how to address it. And we try to be as responsive as we can to try to ensure that our staff welfare is well taken care of. So we have you in mind. We ensure that we take care of our staff, and that we respond to their issues. This afternoon, I will have discussions with the staff associations to discuss plans about moving forward and exactly that, because we're all in the same boat. So your support, continued support, is important, and IITA will be there management will be there to be able to really support the staff. But it's important to be prudent, in what you're doing. I mean, it's like your home, it's like a father in your house, right? You have children, you have 10 children, you have a certain income, and you need to make sure that your expenditures are quite well. Otherwise, tomorrow, 5 days before the end of the month, you may not have food for children. And so that's what we need to do, is to manage properly. Okay. And so, efficiency for me is important. We can save costs. Sometimes we don't save costs. And if we can save costs, you can also make you can save a lot of resources. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Falake, you have the floor.
All right, so thank you for your time, sir. I think I want to ask about the fun part of this issue, which is about serious life. I want to ask also if you can get familiar with Nigeria, all right, but just 5 names of 5 Nigerian names, female Nigerian names.
Female, well, female, Falake.
Female Nigerian names, to cite.
To cite?
Yes.
Folake?
Okay.
Damola?
Okay.
Dotun? Aisha? Ezi?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your time, sir. So, I'm thrilled having you here to tell it fun, and for us to say this is the maiden edition. Thank you for being our first guest. And we have come to the end of this show. Thank you for watching us. Thank you. And we hope you stay tuned to our next episode. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Over? Yeah, I can stand up. Okay. It should go. Yeah.
Okay, so welcome back from the Hello IITA Breakfast Show, where we had a very, very special guest for the maiden edition. And so we know now that did you notice something when the DJ was talking about jollof rice? I remember he mentioned that there was a competition one time. He mentioned Senegal, Nigeria, Ghana, but he didn't tell us who won. Because that quarrel, we'll still take it to Instagram and go and settle it.
Still exists.
Ghana thinks they have better jollof rice than us in Nigeria. Can you imagine?
It still exists.
But we'll leave that conversation till later.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, sir, for being the first guest for the maiden edition of Hello IITA. We're coming to the end of today's program.
Yes.
And this is the part where the two leads for Radio IITA and IITA TV come here to say thank you. They call it vote of thanks. So they come here to say thank you, mention all the names of their support donors, those that have been supporting Radio IITA in the last 5 years.
Yes, 5 years is a long time.
IITA communication by extension.
Yes.
So we'd like to call on Daje Odok and Tolulope Olabode to give the vote of thanks. A round of applause for them.
Round of applause, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for coming. I can't mention names, but I would like to recognize and appreciate my boss, or should I say our boss, Daji, Catherine Lopez. She has been very supportive. She has been very accommodating. And there's no way we would have achieved this without her consent. So we would like to say thank you very much for all our, to all our invited guests. I cannot mention names, but I can definitely write to you and say thank you personally. We really appreciate your support. Your being here, it's very encouraging. Without you here, we would have just been doing it to ourselves. And we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. We'll also move from here to the I House for a cocktail. We just prepared something very small for you, cocktail. So let's take a group photograph outside first, and then we have the cocktail at the terrace. Thank you very much for coming.
All right, a round of applause for the two leads for Radio and IITA TV. Of course, we're making history today.
Okay, so at this point, we would like to take a group photograph outside with everybody present, everybody, including the technical support as well. You will not be left out of these pictures. Group photograph, group photograph. You can come out through this door.
Yes, please, let's proceed to the forecourt.
The front of the conference hall.
For the group photograph. After, we can head to the IAS for